off first with the main event. Let's go ahead, John. Let's go ahead. The main event.
Look, this is a rematch. This is the fight that Alex Pereira won his light heavyweight title on, taking on Jiri. There was some people saying, "Oh, it got stopped early." I didn't think it did. I mean, yeah, you could have always let Jiri get killed more, but he was hurt. I mean, he was hurt. A lot of people complain about it, and it's like, no, it was time to get him out. Now he's back. Let him go after the fight in the rematch. You look at this, and it's one of those. Alex is 36 years of age, I want to say, but his fight career, he hasn't taken a ton of damage. He's got the one knockout against that Israel Adesanya landed on him. Other than that, his first MMA fight that he lost was a guy that pressured him and made him wrestle and things like that. He's 36, but as far as a fighter, he's young. And so I look at it usually I'm going to say Jiri, being a guy who's 31 years of age, he's got the advantage in this. He's a little bit younger and everything. I don't think he does have the advantage. Where he's got the advantage is he does things in an unusual fashion. Alex does things in an unusual fashion. But the one thing that I will say that if it goes to the ground, I think Jiri can cause more problems if he gets to the top position. If he gets underneath Alex, I don't see him being able to do a lot to get rid of him, even though he had some beautiful work against Glover Teixeira, who we know is fantastic on the ground, and he swept him. He swept him in that fight. So that's when he won the title. So I look at this as close to an even fight. This is one of those ones. What's the odds on it by Bet US?
So Bet US has Jiri Prochazka at plus 110. You got Alex Pereira at minus 140. And the over on it is minus 170 at 1.5. Over at 1.5, minus 170. Yeah. 1.5, John. This is a 5-round fight.
I know. I don't see it going the distance. I'm being honest about that, but I don't think it's going to be over in a round.
You don't think it's going to be over 1.5?
I don't think it's going to be over at 7.5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be over. I think they're both going to be in there still.
Okay. So you're thinking that it's going to be the over is going to be minus 170. So you'll put the 170 down.
I would take the over. I would
take the over as well.
Yeah.
I would definitely take the over. I had some concerns about this, and you and I were talking about it beforehand. I'd heard that he wasn't able to really train a whole lot because he had, some broken toes. You rebutted that right away. What'd you say?
Yeah. Look, he's been doing a lot in the sparring. He's not been kicking a lot, and that's smart. You got to back off if you have had, broken toes or anything like that. So he's backed off, but he has not been backing off on the sparring. He has been going after some very tough people. He's been taking on guys that are heavyweight boxers with very good records, other kickboxers. He's been taking on big, long, lanky people that are bigger than him, which takes a lot to be. And he's been doing very well. I give it to Alex. Alex gets it. He gets it right now, man. And you talk about, first off, he's got that strange it factor. And when I say strange it factor, he's not the guy that talks. He doesn't talk at all. He's got that look. But the it factor of people like him. They like his walkout. The strut that and then with the the arrow pull and the whole thing with his heritage and the Amazon and everything. People have fallen in love with the guy, and they love the fact that he wants to fight. Dana White has got to be looking at Alex Pereira saying, you know what? I just want to tell you, thank you so much, because you have made my life so easy. When I have a problem, I just kind of turn my head and there's this light heavyweight board or middleweight board at the time, and I look at you and I call and you respond. And that's what you need if you're Dana. And I can understand why Dana absolutely loves Alex Pereira.
I'm gonna say this. I really feel like he's probably the biggest star in the UFC right now.
He's definitely
and then on top of that, John, like,
and this is a guy that doesn't speak, a whole lot of English, right? And that's why I say he's got the X factor. It's a different kind. It's almost all pantomimed. Everything that he does physically, people fall in love with. It's not what he says. It's the way he moves, the way he does.
Yeah, it's the way that like when they show that video or that image of him going down the roller coaster with his kids and his family, and they're all screaming, and he's just sitting there like, what?
Yep. He's got the same look. He's got the look.
It doesn't faze him, and I think that's how he is in fighting. Like, look, all this stuff when he had the fight with Hill, and he gets hit in the groin, and he kind of pushes the ref back. No, I'm good. I'm good. Yep. These are moments that just win you over with fans. There's no reason to stop the action and for me to pretend like that hurt. Let's just keep the ball rolling and let's go. And look, for what he's accomplished in such a short period of time, and I think he sees the writing on the wall. 36 years old. I only have another maybe 2 years at max to fight at this type of level against these young studs that are coming up and the level.
Yeah. Let me do it now.
Let me make as much money as I possibly can. And if I look at this weight division is one of the weakest, if not the 85 also. He's got two of the weakest weight divisions for him to go ahead and take over. And I'm glad that he came in at this moment because honestly, he's raising everyone else's bar in the 85 and in the 205 because he is treating this as if like this is his career. A lot of the other fighters, I'm not saying they're not treating it like it's their career, but he seems very focused and driven on what his goal is. You see him sparring with boxers, you see him kickboxing, you see him working with Tai Tuivasa, you see him doing all these things around. He spreads himself out with everyone. He's always constantly learning and he's absorbing what other people are giving him and he's trying to probably give some more feedback. I saw him working some judo with Kayla Harrison. Hello. I mean, he's not to say like, yeah.
Why not? Why not work with one of the best?
I don't. What I'm simply saying is you find that it's very rare that top level fighters will put themselves out there like that, and he gives zero fucks. He's out there having a good time. He understands what it's going to take to be good. He's working with Glover on the grappling. His grappling has gotten so good in terms of his takedown defense and his ability to get back up to his feet.
Did you see the whole thing with him and Anthony Smith?
No.
Dude, he went and he basically told Anthony Smith, tell you what, I want to say it was $100,000. $100,000. I will give you my back. You have 5 minutes to submit me. If you don't, I win the 100,000. Or if I get away from you, I win the 100,000. If you submit me, you win it. Look at that's saying I have some confidence in what my ability.
I agree with you.
Just saying it is okay. Saying I'll put $100,000 on it. No, that's pretty good.
Well, here's another little take, and I know that DC says a bunch of wild and crazy shit all the time, and he was interviewing Islam Makhachev, and he was like, man, he's like, Alex Pereira is so strong that I think if he trained wrestling for 3 or 4 years, 2 to 4 years, that he could become Olympic gold medalist. And of course, Islam's like, no, brother, Dagestan way up here, Brazilian wrestling or whatever. He's like, no, but if he trained wrestling, just strictly wrestling for 4 years, he could become Olympic. He's like, no, brother. He's like, no, because it'd be like Sadulayev. It'd be like top level guys. He's like, no, yeah,
Sadulayev.
No, it ain't gonna happen. And so but on DC is like, look, I felt him. He clinches, his ability, his strength. He's like, it's just he's so big, and I've always said this is that body style is perfect for this sport. He's so big and strong in size and height and reach and range and
length. Yeah, he's got length just
coming out his ass.
Gazoo. His legs are long, his arms are long.
And he's got punching power. His kicks are hard and heavy. His punching power, everything is powerful.
And he does it in an unorthodox
relaxed,
fashion.
Very relaxed, composed, and he goes hard when he needs to, doesn't go hard when he needs to. Fantastic fighter. I think he's a stud. But look, John, if I'm taking this fight, though, I'm going to, now that you've talked me into it, I would probably go Alex Pereira at the -140, but I'm also taking the over at the -170.
And that's why you do it. Yeah.